Hello everyone and welcome to No Waffle GCSE. So in this video I'm going to be sharing my grade 9 story. You can download the free one with the link in the description. So I'm going to show my own story that got me 4 marks and hence a grade 9. And looking at all of the language devices, you can download the document with the link below. It's also on our website as well. So, this is the contents. I did paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and I made sure to include a single line paragraph as well. All of these ideas are my own, I didn't take them from anyone, so hopefully there'll be an original story for you to use at your leisure. Paragraph 1. I feel like I am floating, semicolon. I drift freely amongst the trade I take and the life I love. Brick by brick, building the foundation of everything in the living world. The world is my construction site, and I am its builder. Today it is a tower, the very Tower of London, to which it could no longer support the weight of all the time lapsed since its very first slab. Age began to wear it away, as it does to us all. Standing before me in all of its stature, I treasure the years of workmanship birthing this beauty. An orchestra of flowers, of wildflowers, stealthily welcomed the rotting steeple, some settling in its cavities, but the lions testing the sunlight like snails' eyes, opening into huge hues of lemon and plum satin. So, in this you can see that there's alliteration in that I feel like I'm floating. There's a semicolon and colon use. There's hyperbole in exaggeration. And there's also use of temporal deixis, which is time. And the using time in your story is really important. Time markers. So first this happened, then this happened, because it helps with the story. There's a range of sentence lengths. There's anaphora, personification, similes, metaphors. So you can use a whole paragraph, you can use sentences, it's up to you. Moving on to paragraph 2. A wheelbarrow of bricks steamed ahead of me, hauling me into the echoes of the past. "Jones, hurry along, just wheelbarrow them over," I bellowed. But it was too late. Mr. Charming's husky voice had already seducted this season's bait. A young girl twirled her hair, gazing into Jones's ever so striking eyes. The wheelbarrow now meandered out of sight, trawling me out of my reminiscent trance, but trailing me into reflection. I jolted back into reality like a ton of bricks from my memory, the sun smiling in its midday best. Jones was flawless, his alluring charm to women, his brotherly bonds with us, his charming smile, his cheery eyes, his chiselled face. Mere perfection herself would shun the specimen in envy. What virtue of God could have blessed him so? It was a shame he passed away so suddenly. So just in terms of the content of what the content actually means, in paragraph 1, it was sort of setting the scene, suggesting that it's a first-person account, that the main person is a builder, he's got a new job to fix up the Tower of London, and in paragraph 2, it's that a wheelbarrow of bricks moved past him, and it reminded him of a memory in which he's looking for his friend Jones, and he's speaking to women, and he's really good looking. And then you have your dramatic revelation at the end of my paragraph where I reveal that he's dead. So you can see the different language devices used, personification, alliteration. Another key thing is try to add some dialogue into your story as well. I added dialogue in the second line. You can see the time marker I added in red pen on the left hand side, which is really important for navigating the story. There's also an onomatopoeia, anaphora, so again, take any of these at your leisure. Now let's move on to paragraph 3, which is just a single line paragraph. Incoming bricks, watch out. So this is an exclamative, it's speech, and you've also got your ellipses, so they're all quite important. The single line paragraph is integral to a story. You know, it shows that you're really thinking about the story structure and not really neglecting it. So let's look at, and just the purpose, the content of paragraph 3, literally a ton of bricks is going to fall and someone's shouted that out. Paragraph 4. Bam! Panging pain rages inside of me, the bricks perpetually drilling against my skull. I attempt to rescue my head from the fracturing gashes, but my fingers deceive me, for they fail to find the texture of a warm gushing of red. No blood? The agony abruptly halts. The deafening silence screeched into my eardrums. I disjointedly spasm from the fetal like cradling of my head to the fluid release of the latter muscle tension into an ordinary stance. Plucking my sight open, plumes of smoke panted out, escaping into the soiled atmosphere. Where am I? The truant tower had reverted back to its infancy as faceless men toiled away on the humdrum of the foundational slabs, heaving, breathing, hauling, breathing. Dear God, the question was not where am I, it was when am I? The sun had almost set now, the tides of overwhelm washing out any sense of sense. Just this morning I was humbly building, and this evening I stand in 1850. A small husky voice creeps timidly. Smith, how did you get here? Okay, so in this paragraph, basically what happens is he's feeling the pain of the bricks against his head, and then eventually this pain just rapidly goes away, and he is very confused, and then realizes that he is in this, this dark atmosphere, this area where there's loads of builders and everything seems there's lots of pollution, and the tower was just a little stump of bricks, and he thinks he's gone to 1850 back in time where it's like London and everyone's doing their work. And you can see a lot of techniques used here. I particularly like how I used the juxtaposition of the oxymoron, the deafening silence. But you can see a range of language devices here. They're listed on the left. And I end the paragraph with a bit of dialogue. A small husky voice creeps timidly. Smith, how did you get here? Okay, paragraph 5. Jerking and jolting backwards, my soul wrenches out of me. Was it Jones? My vision deluded me, exploiting my absolute memory. Reptilian disfigurements consumed his skin, his left eye hollow, gouged out. Scratches and slashes, grazes and gashes enslaved every inch of his body. What wrath of God had damned him so? Puncturing my bewilderment, the marred man pierced. How did you end up here? The shattering truth demolished my soul. Hell, eternal punishment for sin, that I now deserve to bear in the land of the living dead. How did I end up here? So this is quite an integral paragraph. He realizes that the man who asked him the question was in fact Jones, and you can see contrast here because I'm described Jones as being really ugly and the reptilian disfigurements and the really in-depth description of him, and this contrasts how he was so perfect and immaculate before, and that contrast the examiner is looking for. There's also a bit more dialogue, there's a bit more dramatic tension in the shattering truth, and he realizes that he's not in the 1850s, he's actually in hell because he has died, and he's wondering how did he end up here. And finally, paragraph 6. I hear my bones straining against all of the lives I did not get to live. I begin to descend, my limbs plunge, my heart plummets, drowning and drowning into the depths of death. I feel like I am sinking. I fall forcedly amongst the end I avert and the death I detest. So hopefully you can see how this ending contrasts the beginning, and there's a sort of cyclicality because it says at the end, I feel like I am sinking, and I said in the beginning, I feel like I'm floating. So hopefully you can see that contrast being used there. There's also lots of use of grammar, range of sentence lengths. You can see lots of alliteration in the drowning and drowning into the depths of death. And yeah, and that's my final paragraph, just talking about how he's realized he's in hell, and it's the reality is really sinking in, and he's almost drowning, and he feels like chained. So hopefully you understood the meaning of the story, as along with what you need to include to get a grade 9. So yeah, use this as your leisure. I'm so grateful that you watched this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did find it helpful, feel free to like and subscribe. And yeah, if you have any video requests, just put them down in the comments below, and I'll be more than happy to help you guys. Good luck with your exam, and I wish you all the best. See you soon.